everyone, so today me and my friends will present our work for case study of the Google. But before we start, let me introduce myself. My name is Fiora Zahra Salsabila, and there's another member. There is Muhammad Danindra and Artista India. So let's move on to the slides. Okay, I'm going to talk about the case overview first. Basically, this case talks about Google is one of the biggest tech company in the world, and the main ideas of this case is about how Google trying to balance their making money from the ads and balancing user privacy data. Because as the company grew, people started to worry about Google collecting our data and how it's being used, and this issue led to finance from the regulators, especially in the Europe, and it created a global debate about the privacy and ethics. But what is Google? I think we all know Google, like we all use Google every day, but Google started in 1998 by Larry Page and the Sergey Brin as the search engine, but it's more than that because right now Google owns YouTube, Gmail, Google Maps, Chrome, and Android. Like I said before, we use it every day, and most of the Google money is from the ads, like personal ads. Like they use our data to show personalized ads, and beside their business, Google also supports environmental projects, startup, and charities through google.org. Right now we're jump into the main problem of this case. So the main problem of this case is all about the privacy. I've been saying about the data, about the privacy from the start, and then uh, first this Google create or collect massive amounts of user data, and people felt like it's too offensive, and like Google privacy policies are not always clear, so people worried about and doesn't really understand about what happened to their data. And the last one, Google faced a lot of legal pressure, and they've been fined by EU and criticized from the some project like the censored search and engine in China's.
Okay, so now I'm going to answer the question number one. Has Google implemented a strategy that serves all stakeholders? So here we have 4 points. From this point, this is all the stakeholders that work together with Google. So the first one, we have advertiser. For Google strategy, Google have a strategy for advertiser very well, and they serve it very well too. They are the company main source of revenue. Google give them many options to show targeted ad and promote this as a win-win model. And for over 86% global market share, Google give businesses powerful tool to reach target audience through ads, YouTube, and search. And also, its ad system is very effective and profitable, and it's creating a massive value for both Google and advertiser. For the second point, we have employees. So Google is consistently named one of the 100 best companies to work for. It gives employees a fun and innovative way for environment with special benefit like gym, swimming pool, and nap pod, and this will increase the freedom and career growth opportunity for the employee that work for Google. And employee satisfaction will help drive creativity and innovation for the company. Then we have users. So this for user has a mixed relationship with Google. They have good side and also bad side. For the good side, user get many high quality free service like search, Gmail, and also YouTube. But the price to pay for this free service is user privacy. The case showed that Google track user search items, and it's caught bypassing privacy setting in the Safari browser, and was found by the FTC to be deceptive in its Google Plus launch. One poll showed that 52% of the Google user has privacy concern. Then for the fourth point, we have regulation and government. So Google strategy have a conflict with government like EU and US. For EU, EU has fined Google more than $9 billion for antitrust violation, such as favoring its own shopping service. Google was also fined $57 million in French under the GDPR privacy law. And for the US, so the Justice Department sued Google in 2020 for creating an illegal monopoly over search and search advertising. And Google also spent millions on lobbying to stop new privacy law. So in conclusion, has Google implemented a strategy that serves all stakeholders? The answer is no. So no, Google's strategy does not serve all stakeholders equally. As the evidence show, while the strategy is very good for shareholder and advertiser and employees, it creates serious conflict with user and government. The strategy is not balanced because it strongly favors its business partnership and owners at the cost of user privacy, which this has led to an adversarial relationship with regulators around the world. Okay, so move on to question number 2. How can Google respect privacy and still maintain its profitability? So we have 5 points here. So the first one, be transparent with user. So Google was fined $57 million in French, not just for collecting data, but it did not disclose how data is collected properly. So being more open and honest about its practice could reduce legal fines and build user trust. And this means Google needs to clearly explain how data is collected and used, and simplify the privacy policy so users actually understand what's happening. So transparency builds trust, and trust keep user loyal, which means keep long-term profit. Next, we have focus on ethical advertising. So Google need to shift to context-based ads that use keywords or page content instead of personal tracking. And this will still effective for businesses, but more respectfully for privacy. So it will help Google keep ad revenue while improving its reputation. For point number 3, give user more control. So the company can give user better tools to manage their data. This case mentioned that Google already offer an option to automatically set their Google history to be deleted for like every 3 or 18 months. And Google also has a comparison tool that let users see what has changed in its privacy policy, which is an attempt to improve transparency. So this means Google need to let users easily manage, limit, or delete their data anytime. Make privacy settings more visible and simple to use. When people feel safe, they are more willingly to stay in Google for a long term. Then we have straight in data protection. So Google needs to invest more in AI-driven security, data encryption, and stricter internal audits. This will prevent breaches and misuse of user data to avoid costly fines and damage to brand image. And lastly, we have balanced profit and ethics. So Google should see privacy not as a threat, but as a competitive advantage. And a company that protects its user will always win loyalty, and loyalty means sustainable profit. So in conclusion, how can Google respect privacy and still maintain its profitability? So actually, transparency and privacy is a biggest challenge for Google. So the company must find a fine line between a profit and privacy, because its business model cannot survive without user data. This case suggests Google cannot simply stop tracking data and remain profitable. Therefore, its only path forward is to manage the process better by increasing transparency, improving user control, and cooperating with regulators to find a middle ground that allow its advertising model to survive.
Okay, so now it's my turn to answer. I'm going to answer number 3. How will increasing global regulation of privacy affect Google's operations? There are 5 answers to this. The first one is higher compliance costs. New global privacy laws like GDPR force Google to update systems and policies, and also data security. This means more money spent on legal teams, audits, and technology to stay compliant. Second is limited data collection. Stronger regulations may restrict how much user data can Google share or collect. This could reduce the effectiveness of targeted ads, which are Google's main source of profit. Third is impact on advertising revenue. With less data available, ads may become less personalized, lowering click-through rates and revenue. Google might need to shift toward non-personalized context-based ads. Fourth is global operational challenges. Different countries have different privacy rules, forcing Google to adapt region by region. This creates complexity in managing data and running unified global platforms. Fifth, long-term opportunity. Stronger privacy protection can boost user trust and brand reputation. If managed well, Google can turn privacy compliance into a competitive advantage for long-term success. So, to conclude these questions, this increasing global regulation is clearly a serious threat to Google's operation. The evidence shows these new laws directly challenge Google's core business model, which depends on tracking to be profitable. This creates massive financial risk from fines like the $9 billion from the EU, and it increased everyday business costs, such as the millions spent on lobbying. Ultimately, these regulations are forcing Google to fundamentally change its product and operations, such as creating entire teams to handle the right to be forgotten, just to keep its business running. Okay, next, the conclusion for the whole case study. Google has become a global tech leader by offering powerful and free digital services, but this success comes with the big privacy challenges. The company often faces criticism and legal pressure for how it collects and uses user data. To move forward, Google needs to balance innovation and responsibility, being transparent, protecting user privacy, and still delivering great products. If it can do that, Google will not only keep its profit, but also rebuild stronger trust with users and society. Next is our opinion on this study case and Google overall. We believe Google's biggest challenge today isn't about technology; it's about trust. The company has built amazing innovation that shape our daily lives, but it also holds massive amounts of user data. To truly lead the future, Google must prove that it values people privacy as much as profit. By being transparent, giving users real control of their information, and setting high ethical standards, Google can turn privacy from a weakness into a strength. If it can do that, Google won't just be biggest tech company, it will be the most trusted name in the digital world. Okay, that's it from us. Thank you for listening.